Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Tim Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. Here we are on a brand new project. We're going to be demoing out this old patio cover. It's pretty old school. It's got some really nice arches though in it, but we're going to be putting in something more modernized. Basically, we're going to be putting in an aluminum wood patio cover, but we're also going to be putting in a brand new concrete slab back here with drains, because there's a lot of flooding issues in this backyard right now, especially up against the house. So whoever installed these drains was obviously pretty clueless. You can see the drains exactly at the same height of this weep screed, and the homeowner even had to start caulking the weep screed to prevent the water from flowing into his house. He was literally telling me how he had to basically rip up all the flooring inside of his house, bring a dehumidifier in to start reducing all the water moisture inside the walls and below the flooring, because a lot of mold was starting to grow, and that stuff is not good, especially because I believe that was his kid's room. So whoever installed these drains did a terrible job. They're extremely high. So we're going to come in here, fix all those drains, and get rid of that rock path and the planter bed right up against that back house, so that there's no way he's going to ever have to deal with any water issues again, because water issues can cause thousands of dollars in damages, and it's better to just pay to get things fixed before they're broken. So we do have all the guys on site today. Got my brother Tyler, Shane, Eric, Enrique, and Luis. So we got a full team out here today helping us get this demo done. As you can see, we took apart that patio cover pretty quick. And now we're just bringing the skid steer to the back to get the rest of this demo done even faster. So since I did sell this job a while back, probably about 3 months prior before starting, I did kind of forget exactly how much demo there was supposed to be done back here. I probably should have came the day before just to confirm, because I probably could have got away without getting the skid steer since we have so many guys here today. But it does help all the guys with having a skid steer, because less strain on the back, less labor for everybody. Makes the job go. It does make the job go by faster as well. You can see right there too. Look how low that rebar was in that slab. Seems like someone needs to start watching our videos how to lift up the rebar. Or some people just need to get dobies, like a lot of you guys say in the comments, because they don't know how to lift the rebar. And this is what I mean by having the skid steer really saves us time and labor. So we don't have to shovel everything into the wheelbarrows. We just have Tyler on the skid steer right now, dumping all of the debris and dirt right into our wheelbarrows, and we just take it right out to the front into our bin. Definitely speeds up the job. I don't know though. What do you guys think? Was a skid steer a bad idea, or you think it was worth it for the guys? Also, I am looking to buy a mini skid steer. If you're in Southern California, Orange County, and you're looking to sell one with tracks, I definitely want tracks, and a braking bit, let me know. Leave a comment, or even reach out to the email, Odell Complete Concrete or odellcompletelandscape@gmail.com. Either one of those emails will be able to get in contact. So now that we have most of the debris all hauled out to the front, we're getting our laser level set up in the middle of our patio slab that we're going to be placing, marking out all of the areas, setting up string lines on the perimeter. And I'm actually there right now with our patio cover guy that's going to be helping us do the patio cover install. We were just measuring the side face of that garage to see exactly what size we should order. And now that we have most of the main patio area all done as well. We are digging out the small area against the house where that planter bed was flooding the homeowner's home. And then we're also going to be digging down the drain as well. Getting our drains all set up. So for the forms on the outside of this concrete patio slab area, we're just measuring about 20 feet right off the garage from each end. We set a string line up and then we just place our form in. And now we're just spray painting where the drain will be placed and going. We're going to put one drain right in the center of this concrete patio slab right here. You can see Luis is starting to dig out that drain line. For the drains we're putting over here, we just set string lines from end to end to make sure that our drain goes in nice and straight. And then we're measuring off each end of the house to get a nice straight line for our forms as well. We're going to be going 6 feet off the house, 3 foot on center for our drains. And then we're just going to shoot it down the side yard all the way out to the front of the city sidewalk. We're also going to be coring through the city sidewalk curb as well, so we can get those drains flowing to the city gutter. So now that we have the drains set up, we're just going to be digging them out on the side, continuing them out to the front. We got Shane right here exposing all the area. Getting this old drain out of here. I mean, we just got to go down probably for every 8 feet 1 inch to get at least 1% slope out to the front. So by the time we got out to the front, we got pretty deep. Even though there is some natural slope and grade to these lots going towards the front of the home, we started around like 10 inches deep already compared to how it was. So once we got out of the front, I think we got down to like 15 inches. So we went pretty deep. Alright, so here we are going through the front of the yard now and coring through the city curb. And then we do got to get underneath that city sidewalk as well. I actually ended up breaking this coring bit on this job, and these coring bits are expensive. They're like $150. They just don't seem to last very long. I think we got like 3 jobs out of that coring bit before it broke. I gotta invest into an actual coring machine. But we did end up getting through underneath the city sidewalk and through the city curb to get our drain popped out. Now we're just placing all the dirt back and the grass, making it look like we never touched the area. And then the homeowner will never have to worry about flooding issues in his backyard again now.
Alrighty, good morning everybody. This is day 2 of the project me and my brother have been doing. He's at Home Depot currently picking up some electrical conduit and stuff for this patio cover that we'll be installing. But this is just kind of a progress update. We got all the forms in yesterday. Couple odds and ends we need to tighten up, like this little step here. I'm gonna fix the forms there, and then a couple forms going in over here. But other than that, we made a bunch of progress yesterday, so should be like a half day today, and we'll be ready. We have a guy coming to install a gas line for a future water heater in this section right here, and he'll be doing that tomorrow. So we can't tie our rebar in yet until he gets the gas line in, but once the gas line's in, all we got to do is come back, tie up some rebar, and we'll be ready for concrete.
So right here, what we're going to be doing in the meantime, while the gas line is getting all dug out and ran for a new pool heater that's going to go actually right here, and my brother's doing the forms around this area, because we're just going to be putting some of the rocks back, the decorative rocks back right there, but the gas line is going to go right there. But what I'm doing is I'm just stripping this old electrical conduit LB, putting a new outlet right here, because the homeowner wants to put a TV on this wall eventually. It's going to go right underneath the patio cover. And then we're going to put an outlet on his little retaining wall. That's why I'm digging a little trench over to the retaining wall. So all I'm doing is I'm just tapping into the existing power that was coming out of the top of the garage, and then setting up 2 new outlets that will be utilized for the future. And then what I'm doing right here is I'm just double checking all of our drains, making sure we have at least 1% slope on all the forms to our drains.
All right, so it's just me and my brother today. We got some concrete bags. We're gonna be setting the posts for the patio cover. As you can see, we got this electrical outlets put in yesterday on the wall right here. That's gonna be for a TV mount right there. Right over here, another outlet for them to be able to use. It's actually coming in handy for us already. Yeah, just me and Tyler today though.
Yeah, we're gonna dig some holes.
Yep.
Set some posts. Let's do it.
So me and Tyler just got done squaring up our patio cover area where the posts are going to be set off of the garage. You can see we're also circling out the area where we're going to be digging out the footings for the post. And then Eddie just got here right on time. As soon as we got done getting our post location marked out, he delivered the post. And this is Eddie from Nahar Patios. He's going to be helping us do the install. He actually did bring us a cool little tool he made to help us set these posts, make our job a little bit easier.
Alright guys, check this out. Eddie got something for us. Since we're going to be digging the posts today and setting them, Eddie brought us a cool little holder for our posts. Usually I just hold the post myself while the concrete's drying, but he's got something a little bit fancier.
Yeah. So what we do is basically, if you loosen these right here, you put the 3x3 post inside here, then you tighten it with your crescent wrench. And what it'll do is it'll hold it tight. That way you're not there holding it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You put your 2 levels on the side, and then to self level it, say like if it's a little off, you just hit it with your hammer and it like locks it into place. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's gonna save me a lot of
for sure.
a lot of time.
No more babysitting the post.
Yeah.
The plumb.
That's way better.
Just throw it up.
Yeah,
Heck
it's pretty
yeah.
cool, yeah. Then I made them 5 feet, so usually the footings are like 2x2.
Yeah.
So that way.
So you just sit right on top of the dirt.
Yep.
The dirt.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Cool, man.
Leave it overnight, and then one thing is.
Just don't let it get in the concrete.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I messed up and I let some concrete, but
Oh yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, it makes it hard to get off now.
Yeah, for sure.
When concrete gets in between these threads, man. Ooh.
What's a good idea? Like a wire wheel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
take that
Just
off the
clean it
wire.
off real quick.
So me and Tyler just started digging these holes when all of a sudden we got a call from our other guys, Eric, Luis, and Enrique. They called us saying, "Hey, we're out front. You guys want us to help you dig the holes?" And I couldn't say no to that, so I said, "Heck yeah, guys! If you guys don't mind, yeah, help us dig these holes," because they were actually doing a little concrete job down the street, and they got done with their pour, and then just wanted to stop by, and see how we were doing. So they decided to come by and help us dig out the post hole footings and mix up the concrete and set them. Made our day a lot easier because it was just going to be me and my brother. So that was really cool of them to stop by and help us out. After that, that's all we had to do for the day. And then instead of having to hold all the posts myself until the concrete got a little bit more stiff and dry, I just used Eddie's little inventions and left. Didn't have to babysit the post all day.
Alright, here we are on the pour day. We're getting this thing all prepped out and ready. We got all the posts in. Got these little boards out there Eddie gave us. These are actually really nice. Kept these posts nice and plumb for us. Didn't have to hold it for so long while that concrete set up. We got all the boys on site today. Tyler, my bro, Shane, Ant, of course Eric, and Luis is out in the front. The boys are all here. Right now we're just digging out this area. After the gas line was ran, it was a lot of dirt left over, so we're getting rid of a lot of this dirt. Then a lot of rocks over here on this side. A lot of rocks underneath that ground. Hillsides. Concrete's gonna be coming though, so we gotta get this thing ready.
So we scheduled the concrete a little bit later in the day because, like I was saying, we couldn't get our rebar installed until after the gas line was ran. Once the gas line was ran, all we did was fill in the gas line trench, compact that trench, and had to get rid of a lot of the loose dirt that didn't go back in the gas line trench. Here we are compacting the ground, making sure we got good compaction. After the compaction, we're going to be laying in our rebar, number 3 rebar, 2 foot on center. But that basically wraps up part 1 of this video series. Make sure to stay tuned for the next part. In the next part, we're going to be going over to the concrete pour. And on the concrete pour, we actually did run short. So we got hit with a short load fee. We messed up on our calculations. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to also like, share, subscribe. We really do appreciate all that. And have a good one, guys.